Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Malachi and this is Brotherhood Outdoors. Guys, today I just wanted to do a little quick video on bedding areas and a couple misconceptions that people have. And one of the most common misconceptions is that if you don't have, quote unquote bedding on your property, which is just natural thick brush or thickets, just natural areas that you'll find deer beds that deer like to lay down. That if you don't have bedding on your property, that's it. That's what you're stuck with. You're never going to have bedding. That's just how it is. Your property doesn't, your neighbors does, yada yada. You get the idea. Like, that's just what most people think. And that couldn't be further from the truth, because there's a lot of ways you can go about creating your own deer bedding. Some guys will just go and they'll just hinge cut or just clear cut tons of trees, and then, years down the road it just gets thick and nasty, and then they make it, which it works. I mean, they'll use it. It's going to get used if it's thicker than the stuff your neighbor has next door. But you can also go about it a way that I go, and what I like to do is I'll either take, I'll find some crowns of some down trees or something, and I'll drop a couple big trees onto those crowns, and then I'll just drop a bunch of smaller stuff onto those bigger trees, and it just kind of creates like a hinge cutting. I'm saying like a hinge cut everything, and it creates, like, if you look behind me, it creates like this dome. And guys, this is beautiful, and this is like, this is like by the book bedding. Like, this is like the most beautiful thing to me ever when it comes to the aspect of whitetail deer hunting and bedding and learning the deer. Like, this is a huge part of success. If you don't have bedding, you can make it, and it doesn't take a lot of work. It does take commitment, because you got to maintain it year after year. It takes some commitment. It takes some effort, but it is doable. And so, if you look behind me here, you'll see this bedding area that I have made, and this bedding area is used all the time now, and it's shaped just like a dome. Lots of overhead cover, but it's plenty tall. And these deer can lay down under here if they got to jump up and leave. There's an exit, which is right behind the camera, right over here. And then there's another exit straight out the back, and there's another exit over this direction. And so these deer, they can lay under areas like this all day long, and they feel totally safe, totally secure, not a worry in the world. So I wanted to show you guys the inside, just the guts of this bedding area, I guess you could say, and kind of explain to you why it works and how it can really help you guys out. Okay, so here's coming into this bedding area right here. I keep everything trimmed about 5 foot or so high, to make sure that deer, or buck with a rack or whatever, they can walk through and they don't got to worry about hitting everything and feel like they're like enclosed or being cornered. Anyways, here's the inside of this bedding area. Lots of overhead cover. This is why it works. Lots of overhead cover. And I got to come in here and actually cut off a couple of these logs and move so that the bedding can go back a little bit more into the spot, just a couple, 2 yards. But anyways, so basically if the deer is bedded here, this is what their view is. Okay, the exit right there. They can exit right out there if they want, or they've got an exit right out this direction, which is the one that they used more than any. And if you can see here, back there, that tree stand, I used to actually hunt this spot quite a bit. I said that in another video. I used to actually use this stand a lot, but I just kind of, just said, heck with it, I'm not going to hunt that stand anymore. I'd rather have fewer stand locations in more bedding areas, so that when I'm hunting in my other stands, the odds are greater of having deer activity than hunting all these different areas and pressuring all of the property and then not having deer in any of my spots. So that stand's getting pulled out, and I'm not going to hunt it anymore, because I'm just going to leave all of our woods designated to deer bedding areas and travel areas and staging areas, and then I'm just going to hunt the outskirts and parameters of the property, which I think is the smartest way to do it. But anyways, so this is just how it works, and all I do is I hinge cut a couple of the main big trees, and I drop some other trees on it all the way around, and then made sure that there's ways to get out the front, and then there's ways to get up the side, but you have a solid back wall right here where these deer can lay up against. That's why I said I like to use the crowns, because there's plenty of back wall cover and these deer can feel totally safe and secure. They don't have to watch their back, but they can keep their nose in the wind and watch the entire front and sides. So that's basically the gist of the bedding areas and how they work. And you can see right here, there's some buck rubs. Some guys will make their bedding areas specific buck to doe, which is cool. You know, if you know what you're doing, that's cool. You can totally do that. But me personally, I haven't really gotten to that point to where I'm specific buck to doe. I just kind of make really good bedding areas, and then if bucks happen to use them, they use them. If does happen to use them, they use them. But otherwise, I'm not really too picky on that end of things because you're going to use them regardless. Location is a huge thing for bucks to bed in your areas. Does, location matters, but not as extreme. Got some like sawdust in my throat. Anyways, here's another view of this bedding area before I go. Big dome, hinge cut down on top. Just beautiful. So that is the bedding area that I created for my deer. And like I said, guys, you guys can do the same thing. You just got to understand it does take some effort and it takes some knowledge on the deer, your surroundings, the deer surroundings, and what they like and do not like, so that you don't go and cut a bunch of the wrong stuff in the wrong area and then you totally screw it up and just mess up your property. You don't want to do that. So but this is a bedding area. This is what I have, and this is how I keep more deer on my property. I've got lots of these areas, and it really does make a difference. It makes a huge difference in the deer that we see, the deer that we're able to shoot, the bucks that we're able to have pass through and stick around, a lot longer. So anyways, guys, this is Malachi with Brotherhood Outdoors. I just wanted to show you my bedding area, just one of the many, so that you guys could see it and get a little bit of an idea of what they look like and how you can make one, just make them yourself. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Malachi with Brotherhood Outdoors, and hope to see you guys in the next video. But always remember, Brotherhood Outdoors, once a sportsman, always a sportsman.